together. Except actually this time, no twist like last time. Uh, Michael Shanks' directorial debut in what was probably a top three most anticipated horror movie of the summer and top five most anticipated horror movie of the year. We get power couple Dave Franco and Allison Brie, maybe the hottest couple in Hollywood currently if the Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas rumors aren't true. I mean, their chemistry's phenomenal in this movie. I'm happy that they actually ended up going with a real life celebrity couple instead of just two random actors that don't have any chemistry, because it definitely helps a bit in this movie. But this is way more impressive for Michael Shanks. I was a little excited for this movie. The one poster I saw and the 30 seconds of a single trailer I saw got me pretty excited. After Substance last year, I've been getting a lot into body horror. I've always been into body horror, but Substance was like, damn, if people are gonna be doing this, maybe body horror is actually back in like the bigger screen instead of just being like shitty straight to streaming movies, which is what it's sort of been, or at least for me recently. And Michael Shanks kills it. If this is your first horror movie, you do a good job, man. The only thing I really had a problem with in this movie was the amount, or I guess the not so large amount of body horror. Like I said, the main thing I was looking forward to in this movie, which was presented a lot in the apparently in the trailers. I only watched the one, and the posters was the body horror. I was expecting a lot more in this movie, and you only get one really good scene before the last 20 minutes of the movie, which is a damn shame because when it is happening in this movie, it looks phenomenal. Like it looks really good, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wins any. If that's all practical, which would be absurd, um, it should win some sort of award for it because it is amazing looking when it does happen. You get a few scenes early on in the movie, like the legs being stuck together when they first get to the hole with the water that makes them horny. That's what I'm calling it. It's kind of like the beach that makes you old, except in this movie, it's the water that makes you horny. And you have the funny, really weird sex scene in the elementary school where Dave Franco is like, I guess he's kind of like unconscious. It's like he's drunk, sort of drunk in love, and he goes all the way to where Allison Brie works, which is a school because she's a teacher, and he just fucks her in the bathroom. And yes, if you haven't seen this movie, you do see Dave Franco's Willie, which is which is a plus. Maybe it might have bumped me a few points just with that. But other than that, you don't get much before the last 20 minutes. You get one sort of arm combining scene, which looked really good, and that's about it. In the last 20 minutes, you get a lot of it, especially obviously the last 5 minutes of the movie where they're fully intertwining with each other and becoming unnamed character, which is just them two combined, which is pretty sick. But unfortunately, this movie doesn't get a lot of body horror. I guess I'm forgetting the dog scene that happens at the beginning of the movie, but it's so dark and it's such. You don't see the dogs actually merge with each other. It kind of just like a blip of them and then they just go away, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting a lot more um, horror wise in this movie. I do think the romantical part or the romance part of this movie is very, very solid. Uh, Michael Shanks does a good job in having these two really feel like they are not meant for each other but want to be with each other at the end of the day. And scenes where they are doing things at the same time, but they're nowhere near each other, worked out brilliantly. Like when Dave Franco first goes into the shower and Allison Brie's driving away from him, and every time she turns, he turns in the shower and is hitting himself. When she turns on the car, he's turning on the shower head and all these things. And I wish they also did that more in this movie because that was maybe like my favorite bit in this movie, and it was only like 2 to 3 minutes long. And I wish there was way more of that too. I thought the movie's called Together. I was either expecting to be stuck together a lot, could have went more into the comedy side with that. They do try to make this sort of like a dark comedy, horror comedy movie. They didn't delve too deep into it, unfortunately, and I feel like there was just so much room to do more than they actually did. The story in this movie is pretty okay. There's some fine lore with the cult background and everything, and the um Damon Harriman's character, who, yes, I checked. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. Who who previously was one of the cult two of the cult members who ended up getting married and combining with each other. Uh, it wasn't a twist I necessarily expected, but after finding out that there was two people at one point, you can kind of put the pieces together that he is the two people just combined into one person. And they do a good job at making them actually, they got a good actor that actually looks like the two other actors combined, which was very surprising. I can't really remember correctly if Dave Franco's and Alison Brie's combination really looked like a good mixture of the two, but it was a cool ending. People aren't really happy with the ending. I think it's just fine. I don't know what else people expected with the ending. Did they expect them not to be together? Um, uh, Not just romantically, but physically. I think everyone's. I think I was. I mean, I was expecting that. I was the only one in the theater, unfortunately, which is crazy considering how many people were glazing this movie and how excited they were for it. But I don't think there's really a bad part in this movie. I guess some of the Dave Franco scenes where he's alone are pretty boring, especially when he's with his band members in the beginning. But that's about it. This movie's pretty fun throughout. I wish it went either more into the comedy route or more in the body horror route. Just if it just went one of the two instead of trying to do a weird mixture of the both, this movie probably would have been way better than what I have it imagined ranked in my head, unfortunately. But Michael Shanks, keep doing horror, please. You're now a welcome face. I will be watching your shorts after this review. I'm really excited. If this is your first directorial debut, I want more of you. I hope we get a movie with you next year or the year after. I just need something within the next 2 years of you. Same thing like how Zachary Kreger did Barbarian 3 years ago, and now he's doing Weapons, which is one of the biggest movies anticipation wise of the summer. So please, Michael Shanks, do more horror. Don't move on. Give this movie a 7 out of 10. It's pretty good in some parts. I just wish it went into more in one direction than trying to be uh, both a comedy and a body horror movie. If it just went in one direction, this movie probably would have been like an 8 or 9 out of 10. But it's still very solid. If you haven't watched it for some reason, I don't know why you're watching the review, go out of your way to watch it. And Michael Shanks, like I said earlier, please keep doing horror because this was a phenomenal start to your career.